Welcome back, guys, to another San Francisco video. We got even more to talk about here, especially if you just look at this picture. If you look at what some of the locals are saying, even back in 2021, this is pretty crazy because everyone thinks that San Francisco's problems really started this year in 2023, but no, it really started in 2021. So if you look at 2021 summertime, you could kind of see how empty this is. So what this guy is saying that the air of San Francisco, back then, before the pandemic, it will be rush hour. It will start at 3:30 p.m. Cars will be backed up for miles. Streets will be filled with people. Stores will not be empty. And look at how empty the streets are. There's barely any cars. There's like literally one person walking. There's like, I think, 3 vacant stores just in this picture. And then you also have park hotels and resorts in the back, which actually foreclosed. Like, they closed down just a couple months ago. They defaulted on over $700 million of loans. They also said that the building is worth half the price they paid for. And they don't even want this building anymore because, like, the mortgage itself is worth 2 to 3 times more than the building itself. There's no more tourists, according to what they're saying. And most people are not going on vacation to San Francisco. Some will go there for like one day, freak out, and then they leave, which is like pretty messed up. Now, if you also look at what a lot of people are saying, a lot of the streets of San Francisco are really empty, right? I mean, look at this right here. You just have empty storefronts everywhere. This is not normal, all right? This is a really crazy deal for America's biggest tech city. If you look at Manhattan, if you look at Miami, if you look at Chicago, their downtown retail space usually gets rented out the moment it's vacant, okay? Despite all their problems, okay, especially Chicago got a lot of problems, even their tourism industry is still pretty strong, okay? There's still a lot of people walking around in the North Loop at night, and storefronts are still pretty packed. But look at San Francisco. Storefronts are completely empty. And this is downtown. These storefronts should never be empty at all. And look at this. We're going to be seeing a lot of San Francisco restaurants closing, and that's because of heightened amounts of burglary. There's a lot of crime, a lot of homelessness, and it's insane, guys. San Francisco is an insane city to open a business in. I mean, there's actually a lot of people in the Mission. They open businesses like bars and restaurants, but the moment you see a couple tents open up in front of your establishment, business plummets. Oh, and good luck. Because if you try to call 911, 311 with a city council, they don't care. They won't come over and get the tent out. They just said, screw you. We're not going to do anything. And it's really weird, right? Because San Francisco is now dedicating a lot of their time messing around with the Twitter HQ because Twitter had this like massive X on it. And now apparently they're getting police involved, personnel involved. But then when a restaurant calls because they're struggling because of the homeless situation outside their business, San Francisco just looks the other way. This city's priorities are completely screwed up. It really, really sucks for small business owners. I mean, Musk isn't even doing anything, right? He's just putting an X on a building and the whole city freaks out. So you kind of see that there's some trolling, there's some beef, and it's almost like a personal thing with Musk and the San Francisco leaders. So San Francisco is completely screwed. If you guys want to open a business here, be my guest. But this is probably the worst place to open a business in all of North America. I'm going to add in Canada too, because of how bad this situation is. If you also look at the map here of the Mission, you do have Valencia Street right here. This is an extremely popular area where a lot of bars, restaurants are. And this place is having one of the fastest growing vacancies in all of San Francisco, with a lot of bars and restaurants slowly closing down. In fact, it's so bad, people even made like a list to show how many bars and restaurants have closed down on Valencia Street. Now, if you zoom out and if you go to like Harrison Street, which is somewhere over here, residents for the first time actually have the balls to come out and walk around because they bought $25,000 worth of 2,000-pound planter boxes to put it on the sidewalk to prevent homeless encampments. That is insane. Guys, when a city has to do that, the city has failed. And what they all say is they don't want to spend so much money on planter boxes, but the reason why they have to is because if there are homeless encampments, the city doesn't care. And no matter how many times they call, nothing really gets done. So San Francisco really did this to themselves. Okay, empty storefronts everywhere. The city is getting emptier and emptier. Even the tourist traps, right? Up in Fishman's Wharf. This is like where the tourist traps are. It's also pretty empty. Now, these places, to be fair, do have some people. Pier 39 does have some people, but when you compare that to pre-pandemic, it is so much less. I could say it's probably 1/4 the amount of people walking around. There's also barely any tourists, and even Pier 39 is also experiencing heightened amounts of crime and homelessness. In fact, I guarantee you, almost every business in San Francisco has been broken in at least once at this point. And people are just sick and tired of this. Why? They're like, why did I even stay here? And look at this. Okay, San Francisco even created an app asking the public to help locating rare incidences of human feces. This is hilarious because we all know that human feces are everywhere in San Francisco. And look at how dotted out this map is. In fact, it's so bad that they canceled the app. Now, I'm pretty sure the city thought maybe there's going to be a few dots here and there, and they're going to clean it up and show how dedicated they are to the city's cleanliness. But if you check out this, and check out how dirty this is, yeah, it's almost impossible to clean up. Now, a lot of you guys in the comment section, now I said this before as well, that even your third world countries don't have feces and urine on the floor and drugs on the floor. And this is insane, okay? San Francisco is so bad, it can't even be compared to a third world country. Maybe this is a fourth or fifth world country. What city can you name around the world that has straight up this much poop on the floor? You probably can't, because most cities don't have this much poop on the floor. Only San Francisco. I mean, go to Tokyo, go to Sydney, go to Saudi Arabia, go to China even with their high-end cities. You're not going to be seeing poop on the streets. Only San Francisco, guys. You can't make this up. Check this out. If you just type in stores closing San Francisco, look at how many of these stores are closing down. This is a pretty scary situation here because a lot of these stores are open for several decades. The list goes on. Now, this is, remember, just the tip of the iceberg. Only the famous restaurants and bars actually make it on this list. A lot of smaller, unknown mom and pop shops, flower stores, grocery stores have all shut down. And they shut down in hundreds of stores every single few months. This is insane because you don't really see this much exodus for a city. San Francisco is completely screwed. Okay, even merchants and business owners are actually protesting how bad this is. Bars are shutting down because they actually said that there's barely any office workers anymore. It's very sad, right? If you also look at what's going on in the downtown area, it's completely empty. Salesforce Tower, it's pretty much empty. The most heavily dense area is going to be downtown because of all the office workers. But for the first time in decades, when you go to downtown in San Francisco, it's completely empty and dry. And that's a scary situation because, like I said before, downtown is supposed to be a place where everyone is there, but not this time. Everyone is not there. Everyone is working online. They've lost over 150,000 office employees. That is crazy considering that population of San Francisco is only like 700 to 800,000 people. So they lost a huge chunk of individuals and more people are leaving. Scary stuff.